I got one thing to say. Broccoli! Well, we used to call them trees, or at least that's what we used to tell the kids. So they ate their greens, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to sow some broccoli, but also we're going to be using a matlock. Now, if you didn't know what a matlock is, I'm going to show you. So, I've got a little bit of land over here that we're kind of prepared. Oh, my dog's helping. Thank you, Pandora. What you doing, girl? What you doing? Oh, there. You bring it. What, the wrong way. What, hey, what are you doing? You're pushing. You're pushing. Oh, okay. You are lovely, aren't you? Yes, you are. Okay, you're going to let me do some digging with a matlock. What kind of digging? It's just like, well, scraping the surface and creating furrows, yeah. There's a few things I want to cover in this video. One is, what direction should I put my furrows? If I'm planting in furrows, you know, like the ridges in the soil, you know, on the land and what have you. Well, oh, hello, Wally, you got another one now. Oh, crikey, they're all coming to see me. You know why, don't you? Because I've got treats in my pocket and they know. They can smell them, can't you, girl? Yeah, I know. Okay. Now, if I give you a treat, will you let me get on? Huh? Oh, okay, that's one. Where's the other one? And that's two. I don't know where Sebastian is. He's in here at the minute. He's probably asleep somewhere. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to first create the furrows and then sow the seed. But one thing I don't want you to worry about is, well, planting the seeds exactly apart. No, because that's silly. You don't need to worry about too much about that because you deal with that later. Anyway, I'm not saying I'm doing it the right way. I'm just saying this is the way that I do it. Exactly, yeah. So make of that what you will. Well, I'll show you. I've got my land. It's been rotivated a few times, and the till seems quite. Yeah, the till seems quite. Well, not light, but just, you know, it's nice. Yeah, it's been raining as well, quite a bit the last couple of days, so it's sort of sorted it out a bit as well, so it's nice and moist. It makes it ideal, you see, to actually start sowing. Instead of waiting until it's all dry and arid and what have you, and then sow it when it's, sow the seeds when it's, well, the ground's all dry. It doesn't give them a good start. Otherwise, you might consider soaking the seed first. But I didn't want to do that, because sometimes they just rot, because you forget about them. You put them in a dish somewhere, soaking away, oh God, I forgot about that, and then they're all slimy. So I didn't really want to do that, because I know me, I'll forget. That's kind of who I am. I forget every blooming thing. That's me. Anyway, so what we're going to do is first we'll sow some broccoli. I've already done one row. I'll put you down there. Pandora, that's not helpful. Go and lay down somewhere. Go and lay down somewhere, girl. You're not helping. God's sake. I'm going to put the camera there. And I'm going to see if I can tease this little girl somewhere else. I know, stop licking my face. Okay, go on, over there, look, go on. That's code for bugger off. Right. Alright, so what we're going to do is we've got a furrow here that I've kind of started. There's one over there that I've already done, which I need to stake the end. I've now got Wally now. Come on, move! This isn't helpful. This isn't helpful. So, what I've done is here, I've created my furrows, but I've done them as though they're going down a hill. Because we're on the side of a valley. And the reason for that is, if I go that way with my furrows, and the water comes down the hill, they potentially can fill up and waterlog the ground. I want drainage. So, being as it's going that way, and the hill is running that way, I always put my furrows going down the hill. Some people might say, well, why don't you try and capture the water? You know, in drought and what have you. That's not how it works. Because what happens when you do get rain, it'll all be at once, and then you're going to have the same issues, you know, waterlogging and what have you, and you just won't be able to, well, what happens is you just get waterlogged and then rot. And you get no crop. Now, like I said a minute ago, you know, well, this is the matlock, anyway. I said matlock. It's like a cast iron head on a wooden handle. Now, a few years ago, I was watching a documentary actually on, I think it might have been Channel 4 actually. It was basically, where is the healthiest places to live? And France came second, and Spain came first actually. And there was a Spanish family on there, growing all their own veg, what have you, and all they used was one of these and a club. Yes, I repeat myself, a club. Like Captain Caveman's club. So what he'd do is he'd dig in all the club and he'd bash them with a club. And that's all he used. He didn't have all the fancy tools and hose and stuff like that. He just had one of these. And I have to admit, you can do pretty much everything with one of these, from digging your holes to creating your furrows to weeding. They're great things. Yeah, an old tool, but, you know, it does its job. And I'll just literally level the top off like so. If I see any weeds, I'll get rid of them. But then I think to myself, okay, what am I going to do now? I'll just tamp it a little bit. So, yeah, again, I'm using my Matlock just to tamp the top, just a touch. Not too much, because that'll interfere with the next stage. Like I say, I'm not saying this is the way you should do it, I'm just saying the way that's how I do it. And I think, okay then, I want to make sure I get all my seats in line. Oh dear, what am I going to do? Am I going to get one of those string things with, you know, a little bit of wood on each end and stretch it along and go to the string line? Well, if you've got short furrows like this, there's another good reason to do it this way, perpendicular to the length of the actual bed, because you can do short ones. And when you do short, I just use a handle for all my tools like that. In this case, it's a landscaper's rake, sort of wide rake. And I just press that into the ground like that. Yeah, stand on it. Yeah, not too vigorously because you'll break it. Yeah, because I'm a fat bugger. So I spin that round, and I do exactly the same in the other direction. And then I've got my little seed drill on top of the furrow. I'll move it out of the way like that. See, look at that. Perfect. Parfait. That'll do the job. You just got to make sure you cover the seed up, haven't you? So I've got my furrow. It's a bit of an untidy furrow, I must say. Normally I'll just tidy it up a little bit with this rake, because this rake's good, because it's wide, you see. To sort of rake the landscape, somebody who does a lot of turfing, you know, laying turf would use. Now I'm going to sow my seed, which I've left over there, so I'll grab that. Okay, this wasn't saying on the instructions, on the instructions. It says, alright, you can sow this between May and June. Well, it's May at the moment, you know, outside. Now you plant in rows, and after about 5 to 6 weeks, you then, well, you separate the plants so they're about 60 centimetres apart. Now what I tend to do is I don't want to pull them up, you see, because then they've got to get established again. All the little roots have got to get established. They've already started going down. If I dig the plant up and move it, well, the likelihood is you're going to be breaking off loads of roots. So I just plant more than I need, and I'll go in afterwards and just literally hoe out what I don't need. And that's pretty much what you do when you sow carrots, because the seeds are so tiny, you see. You know, if you're going to only grow them into be little tiny baby carrots, it might not be a problem. But if you want to grow them into big carrots, you want to make sure there's some space between them. So you just hoe out in between them. I know it sounds like a waste, but sometimes less is more, you see. Yeah, that's what I keep telling. Well, I should be telling myself that, really. Then maybe I'd lose weight. Well, I did lose weight, and I sort of slowed down now. For some reason, I don't know why. But I was on keto. Don't you walk over there. Hey, look at him. He's about to walk right in my furrow that I was just about to... Yeah. Yeah, you go that way. That's better. You'll pee up my rake instead. That'll do. That's what he's better do. Like, pee up my rake. Well. Alright, so I'll just put a few seeds on my hand. My palm of my hand. Right, and I'm just going to do it by hand. Yeah. You could try and shake it out. Some people use a bit of folded paper or something. I'll use palm of my hand. And I'm just going to just over sow it a little bit. Not so they're all next to each other. But so when it comes down to, I'll just hoe out what I don't need. Basically, they say 60 centimetres, which is about 2 feet, so that's quite far away. I don't think you need that with broccoli. But you have to harvest this from about November over the winter. So generally speaking, and the same goes with your sprouts and what have you as well. But brassica seeds are generally these little round ones. They're a bit like radish seeds as well. They're all brassicas, you see, and they've got these little round seeds like that. I don't even see those. Like little balls, like little ball bearings. You send them to Russia. They need them for their tanks. But anyway. Because they run out of ball bearings apparently. Right, so I'm not saying that I want them to have ball bearings. I'm quite happy they haven't, but there you go, that's another story. Alright, so I'm just dropping them in a few inches apart, and yes, a lot of them are going to go to waste. That just lies for the fact that some of them won't germinate. So I'm just over sowing, and not saying I'll just separate them or hoe them out until I've got the amount that I actually want. Now broccoli is one of them great crops because they quite often keep the plant going over the winter right into the next season if you want. And that's what we did last year. And then we just cut it back hard. A little bit woody in the end, but it didn't matter because the green stuff on the top that you eat, you know, the broccoli, was absolutely fine. But this time we are sowing afresh because we dug up, because we've changed everything about, you see. We moved things about, what have you, and now we've got to replace what we dug up. And it's about the right time anyway, so you know, there you go. That's it. Well, God, pack. You know what? You don't feel like a lot in there, but there's, you know, I do about 6 rows, I reckon. So that's enough on there. So all I need to do now is just cover them up. And I'm going to use well, you could use Matlock again if you want. But I'm just going to use my rake. The back of the rake, not the top. And just literally pull a little bit of soil into the furrows gently, like that. Just to cover the seed. It ought to be about 2 centimetres deep-ish. That's plenty deep enough. And I'll just tamp it down again. Make sure the soil's around the seed. And the next stage would be to water them in. But make sure you use a watering can that has, well, a rose on, you know, like a little sprinkling head. Or, you know, what will happen is you'll create, if you use a watering can in the other way, you'll create, oh, what do you call that? You just wash it out. Like, all you see, you'll start rolling around all over the place, and they'll float away. You don't necessarily want that. Next one. There you go. Anyway, next stage, once you've done that bit, find yourself a bit of wood. Yeah. And write what it is, and do it straight away. Don't leave it. But I'll do that later. I'll come out here and do it again later. No. I'll tell you what I did. I came out here to do this, and I thought, oh, bugger, I haven't got my pen. My marker pen. And I do full well what happens. I'll get distracted doing something else, and then I'll forget to mark what it is. And I'll forget what it is. I'll think it's Brussels sprouts or carrots or something later on. You know how it goes. So I'm just going to write on here, Brussels. That's all. That'll do. That's enough to tell me what it is. And I'll just drive that into there. Yeah, like that. And that tells you that row is. But if I want to know what that row is, I'll put an arrow on it as well. So I wrote that one there, and that one is Brussels sprouts. And then I know then, you see. So I know everything that way. So I have to put another stake in. One's enough, because I've got Brussels, I've already sowed those, so I've got to tamp it down as yet. But it does the job. But the Matlock is a really good tool to have. It really is, and it works surprisingly well. And like I say, I've sowed going down the hill because I'm on the side of this valley, so everything runs downhill. As you probably see, the valley, yeah, it's lower over there than it is here, and I don't want to waterlog the soil, so it's best to create like drainage, what have you. These furrows, furrows, either side of your little drill, they'll still fill up in time with your weed and then what have you, but at least you get a good indication where everything is, and it gives a good bit of drainage, especially when the seeds are young and you don't necessarily want them to get waterlogged, because those young roots, they rot like any, you know, quick as lightning if you're not careful. Anyway, that's what I do. How do you do yours? Yeah, when you sort of sow your brassicas, such as your broccoli, sprouts and what have you. I just remembered, do you know what I just done? I've just been an idiot. I need another stick. It says Brussels and not broccoli. So that's wrong. So I'm going to do that now. Anyway, thanks for watching. Because I just sowed broccoli, you see. Yeah. Anyway, you can call me an idiot if you like, I don't care. No. Too long in the tooth to worry. Ta-ta. Have a lovely day. I wonder where my dog's gone. I've got my Sebastian's over there now. Oh, dear me, here he is. Oh, the little bugger he is. What are you doing in my garden? Out you get. Out. They're trampling everything. Oh, I can see Pandora's in the polytunnel as well, underneath the bench, trampling everything underneath there as well. And now she's realised I've talked about her, she's come to have a look. Come on, out of there! I don't think the dogs are helping. No, I don't. I don't know where Wally's gone, but anyway, he'll be about here somewhere. Anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to boot the old like button, and if you think we're worth it. Yeah, okay. Have a lovely day. Ta-ta.